Today we're talking all about music, and basically, if you're making videos that are for anything other than just sharing with yourself or your friends, like at your house, you need to be thinking about royalty-free music. Royalty-free music is not subject to copyright, so it's music that you're allowed to use in your videos. You could even use it in client videos depending on the licensing. And as a filmmaker or just a video production person, royalty-free music is one of your best friends. Fortunately, there are a ton of free resources online, things like incompetech.com or bensound.com or freemusicarchive.org, and especially the YouTube royalty-free music library. YouTube basically aggregates everything into one spot, and so all of this royalty-free music from all these different sites are put in a very searchable database with very specific explanations of how the licenses work and how you can and can't use those songs. But sometimes you can find yourself feeling a little bit limited by the YouTube library, and if you want to just take your filmmaking up just a little bit and you have a little bit of money that you can spend each month, it can really go a long ways towards upping your overall production quality. Because what you can do is get a subscription to a royalty-free music service. And there are a ton of these online, but today we're going to talk about two of the most popular ones and what I think are two of the best ones, Artlist.io and epidemicsound.com. This isn't a sponsored video in any way, but there is an affiliate link for 2 months free of Artlist in the description if you want to try it out. And on the surface, both Artlist and Epidemic Sound seem relatively similar. They're both $15 a month, and they both give you access to a huge library of royalty-free music. They are different libraries, so the same songs aren't on both websites. So just to kind of jump ahead to a spoiler alert, if you can afford it, I would recommend getting a subscription to both services. I really do think they each have a lot of unique strengths to offer. And if you're able to have a subscription to both, which would be about $30 a month, it really kind of opens up so many different options for you. So even though they're similar, there are some key differences. The biggest one, no pun intended, is that Epidemic Sound has a bigger library of music. There are just more songs there. Artlist has a smaller library, but both websites have new music being added like every single week. So there's constantly new updates, and there's some really good artists. Like it's like legit artists, and there's some genuinely good songs that I just kind of like as songs, not even for videos. Both websites let you narrow down what you're looking for by like mood, genre, instrument, specific search terms. But I've found over the past year and a half that I've been using both of these services that I'm more often able to think of what kind of song I want and find that on Artlist than I am on Epidemic. I spend a lot more time browsing on Epidemic, which could just be because there is more music there. But I feel like their search function isn't as good as Artlist. One of the biggest benefits to Epidemic Sound is that they let you download stems to each song. So you can download the full mix, just the song as a complete track, or you can actually download the individual instrument tracks, which is great and has like saved me on more than one occasion where there's an amazing song, but you just want to get rid of some vocals, or like, you know, there's a super cool song that has these great drums and bass, and then for some reason there's like this weird little like whistle and clapping happening in the background, and you're like, what is this? This song is great. That's totally bizarre, and you can just get rid of it by not downloading that track. And it's cool. It gives you a lot of options to kind of mix and remix songs, or if you just need like the drums or just the bass, it gives you a ton of flexibility to be able to download the individual instrument tracks. That's one of the biggest benefits to Epidemic Sound, I think. With your paid subscription does also include a sound effects library. So not just music, but sound effects. The problem I found is that the library is so big and the search function is so bad that I can usually never actually find the sound that I want unless I'm real specific and I know exactly what's in my head. But most of the time when I just have an idea of like, I need something that goes like, I don't know what to type in the search bar for, and so I just browse and browse and never end up finding what I want. So even though Epidemic does offer sound effects, I haven't found it useful. But the most important difference between these two services, even though they're the same price, they have totally different licenses. And that's really going to be the key. So if you're looking to use one or the other or both, it's really crucial that you understand how the licensing differs between them. So right off the bat, Artlist's licensing is way better. So if you need to get just one service, go with Artlist because their license, it's the best license anywhere for any of these sites, period. With Artlist's licensing, you have access to the songs in perpetuity, regardless of whether or not your account is still active with them. So basically, you could sign up with Artlist, download just every song you could find, and then cancel your account, and you still can use that music however you want. You can put it on your YouTube channel, you can use it in client work, you could put it on like broadcast television, or use it in like a crazy blockbuster film. You have total free reign over however you want to use those songs. Epidemic Sound, on the other hand, has a much more restrictive license. Basically, Epidemic is registered to your specific YouTube account. So if you want music for your YouTube channel, you sign up, it registers to your account, and then you can use all the songs you want on your channel. But if you have like a second channel or use them in client work, you will get copyright claimed really, really fast. They are really aggressive about copyright claims. I've even gotten copyright claims from Epidemic on my channel, which is licensed to use Epidemic music. And of course they cleared that up and fixed it because it was a mistake, but they really are aggressive and active in making sure that anywhere their songs are used has a proper license. So if you want to use Epidemic Sound with client work, there's actually a whole separate license and subscription that you would need to get, or sometimes even the client themselves would need to purchase to use it. And to me, it kind of gets a little complicated. It kind of gets a little expensive, especially when you think of Artlist, where literally you can just use the songs however you want. Another big difference with the licensing is that Artlist gives you access to those songs in perpetuity. So anything that you've downloaded with an active subscription, you can use forever. You can download it now, put it in a video in 10 years, and you're safe, you're good to go. With Epidemic Sound, you can only use songs while you have an active subscription. So while your subscription is active, you can download as much music as you want, and you can upload it to as many videos on your specific channel or whatever account is registered to your Epidemic account. But as soon as you cancel your subscription, you can't use that music anymore. So if I have an active Epidemic account right now, I can upload a video today, and then if I cancel my account tomorrow and make a video the next day, I can't use that music anymore, and it will get claimed. The videos that I made while I had an account will still be safe, but any videos I make while I don't have an account will be claimed. So if you're trying to decide which service to go with, it obviously does depend on how you intend to use the music. Like, I just have my YouTube channel, so I make mostly stuff for myself. I have a subscription to both services, and I use both on this channel. I do sometimes do freelance and client work on the side for fun or just to make a little extra money. And for all of that stuff, I only use Artlist because that's what that license gives me. I can't use Epidemic music for those videos. And that goes back to my point that I made at the beginning, where I really do think if you can spend $30 a month, if that's realistically in your budget and it's not too much, then having a subscription to both services is really, really helpful. And you find yourself covered in a lot of situations. If you can only get one or the other, the $15 on Artlist is really, really well spent, and I kind of can't recommend it enough. And again, this totally isn't sponsored. I just really love the service. I remember when you used to have to spend $100 or $200 or $300 on a single song. And so being able to have access to a giant library for $15 a month with as many songs as you want is mind-blowing to me. Now, what I kind of recommend if you really want to take your filmmaking, your video production, or YouTube channel seriously is maybe set aside $50 a month for expenses related to your channel. That might be extreme. Don't do that if you can't afford it. But if you have a little bit of money that you can put aside, if you think of it as a hobby that you'd be spending money on every month anyway, that $50 can go towards your Artlist and your Epidemic subscriptions. But there's another service, which again, not sponsored. I just wish I had found this much earlier. I heard about this from Film Riot, and it's called Soundly, which is a royalty-free sound effects library. And this is the most magical software ever. So for another $15 a month, you have access to Soundly, which is this massive sound effects library. You can type in almost anything you can think of, and it's there. Some stuff is really specific, like Apple Magic Mouse left click. That's a real specific thing, but all the sound effects are incredibly high quality. You can edit them and adjust them a little bit. You can slow them down and speed them up. Soundly is online based, so there's an app that you can just download on any computer. You log in and then you have access to all of your sound effects that you need. But by far the best thing about Soundly is that when you find a sound effect that you want to use, all you need to do is click and highlight the part that you want, and then you can literally just drag it directly into your video editing software and it's ready to go. There's no downloading it to a special folder, no organizing anything, no separate pages to click through. It's just ultra quick to add in sound effects. That is some of the best $15 I've ever spent. And once you start, spending a little more time focusing on the audio mix of your videos, your overall production value is just gonna skyrocket, because that's the little touches that separate professional video from amateur video. And not a lot of people realize that audio is half of your video. And so spending time to get good audio quality really makes for a better finished video. So you've got Artlist, you've got Epidemic, you've got Soundly, maybe you have a few dollars extra every month, is to check out rev.com, which again, not sponsored. And I'm sure someone from rev.com is seeing this right now. So hello, and thank you for all of the great captioning of my voice in my videos. Rev.com is a caption or subtitle service for your videos, and you just either upload a video or you can connect your channel directly. And for $1 a minute, they will caption your videos, and they do a really good job. Things are spelled correctly. I have an English degree, so having correct grammar and spelling is pretty important to me. So however long your video is, if it's a 5-minute video, it'll be $5. If it's a 10-minute video, $10. Then you can include correct, accurate captions in your video. They say that it takes up to 24 hours, but personally, I've been using them for about a year, and it's always been within like 3 or 4 hours the caption files are done. Once it's finished, they'll send you the file. You can always log in and download your caption file. You can upload it directly, or you can just have them upload it directly to your channel. So when you're finished with the video, you just place an order for captions for that, and within a few hours, the captions are uploaded and ready to go. And captioning your videos on YouTube is really important for a couple of reasons. First, if you're trying to grow your channel, having captions does make it more search engine optimized, because now a wider audience of people can select it. And so that does help you kind of show up in the search results and whatever, get recommended. But most importantly, adding captions makes your videos more accessible. So now people who maybe otherwise wouldn't be able to enjoy whatever you're making can enjoy it and can understand it, because you've added captions and you've opened up that accessibility. So if you're getting serious about making your videos, at a certain point you're gonna have to drop a little bit of money, but if you do that really smart, it doesn't have to be a ton of money, and it can really add a lot to the videos that you're making. In fact, if you wanna know more just simple things that cost very little or no money, I did put together a playlist of filmmaking tips and techniques. Some of them are about equipment, and others are just tips and techniques that I think will help you take your filmmaking skills to the next level.